You have to start on the inside. You can evoke change on the outside. You can build more affordable housing. You can put a Walmart in. You can do a lot of that. But if the individuals in that community don't change on the inside, much of nothing else is going to happen. Baltimore has flatlined. You can take Baltimore and plop it in Detroit. Detroit is flatlining. You have to change these communities from the inside when what's going on with politics, whether it's a Republican in the White House, a Democrat in the White House, and the guys on the corner said it themselves, nothing's changed, even with a black president in the White House.
But the federal government can make a difference?
Oh, absolutely. It's necessary for us as a nation to make a commitment to figure out what we're going to do about our depressed inner cities. And I think what we can do is rebuild the infrastructure, rebuild, there are buildings that need to be torn down, there are buildings that need to be repaired, there are schools that need to be invested in, and those investments make the community more attractive, put the people there who are unemployed to work, improving the community, improves the tax base, and it also attracts new residents.
But what do you say to the brother on the corner that says, I fill out these applications, and for the most part, they get tossed away into that permanent file we call a trash can because he's had a felony conviction and he's facing reality. So why would you even suggest that we haven't invested in public schools? We've been investing trillions upon trillions of dollars in a public school system that ends up churning out these guys who are sitting on the corner. So something there even needs to be changed.
Yes, that's true. But let me back up. What I said in terms of investing in the community, I also said that put the people in the community to work rebuilding, repairing, improving the community. And also take into account that in that community you have ex-offenders. But if you have targeted jobs to community members, you solve that problem of these young men being rejected because you've already set in place a system
and
that
young
puts them
men. That's one of the most disturbing aspects of what the Need to Know program is showing us.
And when you say the federal government should increase its investment, I probably don't have to tell you how much the federal government is cutting back on everything.
Yes. Laying off state, local, and federal workers will not make the economy stronger. You'll have more people unemployed. You'll have weaker social services. We know it doesn't work. Unfortunately, at this point, we have to make sure that we have a strong safety net. And now is the best time to invest in infrastructure.
Yeah, but even with let's just take the safety net, okay? The safety net is getting deeper and deeper and broader. We're disinvesting in the meantime in things that work in education and other innovative and entrepreneurial things like starting charter schools that feed directly into the airline industry. You want to learn how to be a mechanic, how to fly a plane, there are charter schools and community colleges that will take you, that's a direct pipeline into that industry. And we need to have more innovative plans like that instead of these one-size-fits-all teacher education platforms that we've had for 25 years. And we failed a whole generation of children and people who are now young adults.
Are we talking about a series of challenges that are mostly unaddressed in the current election campaign?
Absolutely. They can't get away from talking about education reform and the job market separate from this infrastructure thing that's been going on, stimulus that's been going on for a couple of years, and still has these guys sitting on the corner watching their watches and waiting for a job. We have to get beyond that for sure.
Yeah, the current political discussions, I don't even think that the jobs crisis nationally is being addressed well, much less the jobs crisis within places like inner city Baltimore.
Can I ask each for incredibly specific recommendations you would make to try and improve the jobless situation in inner city America?
One is don't turn away, this is for businesses and government, don't turn away an offender just because he checked the box, yes, I've been offended. Make sure children are educated. And I don't care whether it's a grandma raising her 32-year-old grandson, make sure he's educated. And stop depending on the government to raise your children. We can see what happens when we don't take responsibility for our own.
Also, criminal background checks have to be appropriate to the job and at the end of the interview, not as a screening process at the very beginning. You know, there are people with skills.
Nobody can refuse to hire someone just because for certain jobs.
And similarly with credit check, unfortunately, that's also being used to eliminate people suffering from economic hardship, suffering from long-term joblessness.
Thank you both very much, Algernon Austin and Deborah Simmons.
Thank you, Scott.